from the early days of comic book news reporting, you read about Venom. Venom was a movie. It was always mentioned, and you could not mention a Spider-Man movie without mentioning Venom. If you told me when I was younger that Venom would turn into an Odd Couple road movie, planes, trains, and automobiles would be the inspiration for Venom 3 The Last Dance, I would have said, yeah, well, it must be a comedy, must suck. I might be the only person out there that really saw this movie for what it was, and I dug it. Took me a little bit to see it, but I'm bringing it to you. Guys, it's Venom, the closeout of a trilogy. And this is a third movie, too, that feels like a closing of a storyline. So let's go.
On the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
Yeah, just a lot of bad information sometimes. Bad takes, bad opinions. I don't understand how we have two positions just with what happens within the plot, what happens within the story in this movie. Position one. Venom is a codex movie. Codex. There's a DNA impression or something that is in the cells of Venom, and with that they can do some dangerous things. Now, this is the exact plot of Superman, Man of Steel, directed by Zack Snyder, where Superman holds the codex to rebuild Krypton. These two movies have the same plot. They have the same trigger. In Venom, this is set up from scene 1, act 1. It is ready to go. We are introduced to Knull. He is known as the King in Black. Marvel could have artfully introduced a couple notions of Knull, because he has a weapon that he creates from this netherworld, this realm, this membrane between universes and dimensions, and he essentially gives that to the villain in Thor: Love and Thunder, in the comics. And this guy uses the Venom sword essentially to kill a bunch of gods. Marvel could have done that, but they didn't. Cause I'll tell you one thing: if they did, it would make both of these movies a lot better. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed Venom the Last Dance. So anyway, point number one: this is the same plot of Man of Steel. Point number two: I haven't seen one reviewer get down and dirty in how emotional and impactful and meaningful the end of this movie is. It has nothing to do with all the action at the end. It has nothing to do with all these Venoms and symbiotes teaming up, transforming, having cool powers, tag teaming things. And by tag teaming, I mean like they're stacking their powers. This is something that we saw in X-Men Days of Future Past, in that opening Sentinel scene where the powers are stacked and they're somewhat complementary. These are the things comic fans dream of, and when you see it happen on the big screen, it is a big boy geeky boner. The emotional impact of this movie and the shot of Eddie Brock in front of the Statue of Liberty, it's sad, it's heartfelt. When Venom dies at the end of this, when he passes on, when he sacrifices himself, it's a real moment. It's a real moment. Venom only wanted to see the Statue of Liberty, and Eddie Brock, as Venom is about to die, promises they will see it and everything's going to be okay and nothing's going to be wrong, and they will do this, they will see this. What reviewers really attached themselves to was Knull, the supervillain. Knull is a absolute supervillain. He's one of Marvel's better new villains. He bookends the movie and that's it. But what he says and what he sets in motion in the opening scene is echoed throughout all of the movie. Venom cannot die. Venom dies, the codex gets released and kind of goes into the hive mentality, and it kind of like echoes or flows back to Knull, who's in this nether realm, this membrane realm. Which is kind of cool, by the way. But a lot of these reviewers, they hooked in on Knull not being in the movie enough. Whatever. I thought it was fine. I thought the voice of Knull was fantastic. I thought the imagery of him, 1,000% creepy. But Knull never did the things in comics that resonated as well as Thanos. And there's reasons for that. For Knull to work, we need these a lot of other characters, and one of them to add significance to Knull would be the Silver Surfer. So, all the other reviewers, they latched on to some of these zany characters, to a, as they like to say, formulaic plot. This movie sets things up, and we get payoffs. It does it so well. I enjoyed this movie on the level of Fast and Furious and Michael Bay Transformers, where, cool, that guy that disappeared, the zany character, he's back and he's doing
These
something.
are the
Okay, I know who he is. I can follow.
Totally fun.
This movie is also deeply tied to the other films. So much so, we get a news story that really puts Eddie Brock in the position where Tom Hardy, he cannot return home. He cannot go back to San Francisco, and they have to go on the run. Again, it's there. It's totally explained. The special effects, the characters, the way how they just expanded and blew up Venom and the symbiotes on screen to the things they do with them. The Venom horse, it's all there. And these are the things, like the comics, once Venom really... See, Venom caught everything. Caught fire, caught attention, really became a preeminent character in the Marvel Universe right away. Deadpool, not so much. But it didn't take him long to do everything with Venom in the comics that we see them do in the movies. Let's do multiple Venoms. Let's do wild powers. Let's just keep going, keep expanding. He's not the only symbiote. Let's just go and go and go. Venom, in a way, is the perfect character for the action figure age. You can make a Venom action figure line. You can make a Venom taking over the Marvel Universe action figure line. You can do anything with Venom. It lends itself to products. It lends itself to merchandise. Perfect combination. So, I don't know, AKA Powders. I think I'm really on the fence about loving this movie, enjoying it, and watching this movie makes me want to watch the other two. I just want to watch these three movies together in a short time span. The idea too, like, again, like, I know I've been saying like the idea, but the idea that Venom and Eddie Brock are somewhat of a comedic duo. I mean, it's crazy just saying that. They transformed this character into something we can watch and enjoy. Venom would speak inwardly with Eddie Brock, right? That's not visual. The movie having Venom being able to come out of him and float around him a little bit like a puppet would. It's masterful. It's such a good solution. It's better than anything we saw in the comics. And Venom, largely in Marvel Comics, has been almost like watered down, not important, not scary, overused. They've done the storylines where Venom or Carnage take over the Marvel Universe, and we have Venom Wolverine and Carnage Captain America. Which just, it doesn't work. It doesn't play out. This movie has two end credit sequences that can go into anything, and I think they should. Seeing this movie and seeing the first credit sequence with Knull, it's it makes you regret Sony's decision, because they could have done something with Venom and Craven and Morbius and even Madam Web, and they're, you could put these characters together and do something. It was all set up, even if it's for a series or a show or something more long form. All of these movies, everything I just mentioned to you, is a good established. It's a good setup. Things are established. I don't know, but everyone came in so heavy against this movie because of some of this low-hanging fruit, like formulaic plot and zany characters. Not enough Knull. I don't know, AK. You know, like I sit down, I want to enjoy a movie. I want to watch a movie. I want to brain dump and enjoy myself and maybe laugh out loud a few times. And that's what this movie was. And on top of it, we're not even talking about the fantastic character design and how cool the creatures hunting Venom were, and how deadly they were, and how impossible they seemed to kill when they showed up on screen. Far more deadly, and they kind of look a little bit like the creature fellas from the Eternals, the Despots, right? Or the, oh my god, I forget, the Deviants from the Eternals. Way better design than the Deviants. I don't know, AKA Powders. Let me know what you think. Venom, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Okay, that's a wrap.